Cars like the Aston Martin Valkyrie only come along once in a generation. The fruit of a partnership between the famous British sports car maker and its F1 partner, Red Bull. The radical Aston hypercar is the brainchild of none other than legendary Formula One aerodynamicist Adrian Newey. Now, Newey isn't one to compromise, so when he wanted a naturally aspirated V12 to power the Aston hypercar, he wasn't prepared to settle for an off-the-shelf item. Instead, he called his old friends at former Formula One engine builder Cosworth. Because only Cosworth could deliver what he wanted. A V12 that weighed just 200 kilograms, revved to the high heavens, produced a cool 1,000 horsepower, and lasted for more than 100,000 kilometers. And that's why we journeyed to the British Engine Builders HQ to get up close and personal with the man who delivered what most thought was impossible.
Guys. Welcome to Best of British.
So this is Bruce Woods. He is the Managing Director of Cosworth, and this guy has been involved in everything from Formula One to fast Fords, but I believe this has been a particular challenge for you.
Yes, absolutely. It's an incredible thing to have the opportunity to work on, and this is definitely going to be one for everybody involved to tell the grandkids about. So this is something very special for Cosworth.
I think first, actually, Bruce has to tell us about where we're standing now, because I've been to some industry test beds in my time, but this room is absolutely insane.
Yes, so this is one of 10 dyno cells that we have at Cosworth. 3 in a row here, an amazing capability. So these were designed for Formula One. Right. And you wouldn't find cells like this in any other facility other than Formula One.
Tell me if this is true or not, but you know, normal dynos are pretty boring places, aren't they? You just spin up a wheel, it produces horsepower. This thing can replicate the forces of a full record-setting lap at the Nürburgring. How cool is that?
It is an amazing bit of kit, yes. So it's 1,000 kilowatts, 100% overload, so you can run 2 megawatts, 24,000 RPM. And when we're running through a Nürburgring cycle, then with the transient capability, we can replicate all of the gear shifts. So it's a real spectacle to see the engine. The maximum power is made at 10,500 RPM, and we're not rev limited till 11.1. So each gear shift is happening between 10.5 and 11.1. And it is an incredible thing both to see and to hear as the engine goes around a lap of Nürburgring.
They talk about a power race and supercars, but this is next level.
Yes, so one of the key targets at the beginning was absolute power. And in kilowatt numbers, then the engine itself is delivering about 746 kilowatts, and then on top of that there's the hybrid electrification motor. 746 isn't such a nice round number, but in horsepower that's 1,000 horsepower, which is obviously a great number to conjure with.
Well, I guess the horsepower was only the beginning of the challenge that you faced, because he worked with a certain man called Adrian Newey, who is a pretty tough cookie in the world of Formula One. He's the guy responsible for much of Red Bull's success. He's an incredible designer, but he's quite the taskmaster. Tell us some of the specifics he wanted from this engine.
We started out with power. So we actually started out with 950 horsepower, became 1,000.
Yeah.
We have to meet Euro 6 emissions. We, again, very keen to rev beyond 10,000 RPM.
In a road car, 10,000 RPM, it's just
which again is crossing a threshold that hasn't been done before. There's engines that rev to 9. There's nothing in a road car that goes to 10. So we wanted to cross that threshold. And then critically, all of this had to be packaged in something of 200 kilograms weight target, and to be the structural element of the entire car.
And that's crucial, isn't it? Because that helps Adrian Newey achieve some of his engineering goals.
Yes, to achieve the vehicle weight target, it was critical that every piece of material in the car is is doing more than one job.
Yeah.
And say in the case of the engine, not only is it producing the power, it's holding the back and the front wheels together.
What was it like to work with Newey? Does he change the goalposts? Does he put pressure? You know, does one week he say, I want the engine to be 200, and then maybe next week he says 193? Is it?
No, he's very, working with Adrian was fantastic. He is certainly very single-minded and very demanding. But what he wants to drive you to is the best you can do.
Yeah.
When we were set the target of 200 kilograms, we did not know quite how we were going to deliver that. And we tried to talk Adrian into more like 220.
Yeah.
He wasn't having any of that. And in fact, we've delivered about 205, 206. And he's happy with that because he can see that we have, we've put every piece of engineering, simulation, analysis and technology into making the weight as low as we can get it. And 205, 206 is about it.